a little bird told me this is the best year in 10 years to go on spring break. You go on spring break, right? You slather yourself with baby oil, you lay on the beach.
Island and Daytona.
Adoring fins.
Yeah, I'm very much a slather myself. But I must tell you,
Business anchors gone wild.
I have actually booked all of my travel for 2009 because I have never seen prices as cheap as they are, which is a very different scenario than pretty much all of 2008 when we were talking to you, and we were talking to Rick Cini from faircompare.com about how this week's increase has affected us. Rick, good to see you. Good to see you here.
It's great to be here.
And the fact that travel costs have gone down is why Rick can actually be here. Because normally we have to talk
about that crazy airfare increase stuff.
I have been tracking a specific flight to Mexico, and do you know that I've been watching on this fare tracker, I've been watching it drop every week. Every week it drops.
And I think you're going to see that really for the entire year. It's going to be a really tough year for airlines because they have no clue. They sell their tickets based on historical knowledge, and there's no history for this.
So they're selling a ticket for some time out in September, maybe, and we have no idea what the economy is going to be like in September, what the plane situation is going to be like, how many people
they're going to lock in some of those seats.
Well, okay, here's an example. I got a wedding to go to in Jamaica in November.
Oh, I feel so bad for you.
Best wedding invitation I've had. Prices are pretty good right now.
Really good.
But do I lock in, or is this like the stock market? Do I think it might go lower, and do I wait? What do I do?
Well, you know, basically, it's always good to start early. If you start early, you'll always get a good deal. But if the price is really out of your budget, it's not bad to wait these days because airlines are going to have a few empty seats. They're willing to discount a little bit at the end. So it's not bad to necessarily procrastinate, but I'd prefer people actually go ahead and lock in if they see a good price within their budget.
Largely because that's just a better budgeting practice
in
life.
We're seeing, the holy grail of airfare for the last 10 years has been $99 coast to coast. We haven't seen that in 5 years.
Wow.
We've seen $99 coast to coast. I mean, tickets from San Francisco to Boston, $200.
Can they afford to fly the plane for $99 coast to coast?
Honestly, with a certain number of passengers, they can. If it's only like 20% of the airplane, they can do that if other business travelers are paying more.
Am I going to see, I travel like I'm frankly a circus when I go, 2 kids, pack and play, all this stuff. Sometimes they let me take the baby stuff for free. But am I going to have to pay $15 for every single bag, or $25 a bag, or even more if I have more than 4 bags? Is that where I'm going to make up the difference?
Yeah, and in fact, what you should be doing is actually getting on that airline, become a frequent flyer and a VIP in their club. Those fees are waived. So if you're going to be doing that a lot, it actually behooves you to get into those clubs. If not, you're basically going to be paying $15 to $40 each way. Now, there are some airlines where they actually waive the fee if you use a particular credit card, for example. So there's several ways you can get around it.
So it's worth doing some research into that.
It is.
Now, the other thing is, 2008, I found there were some problems going on with some of my loyalty miles, and I had accumulated a lot of them. So I used them.
Right.
I've booked trips for the summer.
A lot of us have those miles, yeah.
If you've got a bunch of miles, what should you be thinking?
The bottom line is these programs are losing value. They've lost value over the last couple of years. So really you should be using those miles. And the best time to use those miles is at the last minute. I actually use my miles to come here. The ticket for me to come to New York from Dallas was $1,000 round trip. For $50 at the last minute, I use my miles, and then I just tell my wife, hey, you know what? We can buy 3 round-trip tickets to Disney World for the same price. That's the best time to use your miles.
Is there a cost? It used to be that if you had to pay more than $400 for a ticket, you should try to use your miles. Is there a breakdown?
There is a breakdown. It's around $400 to $500. It's a couple cents a mile, and you can use that formula. But the problem is that as the airlines are cutting back all these seats, it's just harder to get that seat. In places like Hawaii, Orlando, and Las Vegas, where everybody wants to go, hard to get into.
So it's going to be good. So the economy, it's rough. Let's not. We're going to be real frank here. But if you got enough money to go to spring break, this is the year to do it.
My only concern for long-term planning is, will the airlines all be in the same shape? We saw some consolidation last year.
Financially, they're in really good shape, actually. And the price of oil coming down into the low 40s and high 30s is so much a big effect on their bottom line than having like 10% of their revenue down, which is the worst case scenario. This is like data from after 9/11. So the bottom line is the price of oil is keeping them pretty propped up. So the airlines are in pretty good shape.
All right. Well, this is a double view from the top, because Rick is the CEO of Fair Compare, and we're talking about airfare view from the top.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Rick, what a pleasure to see you here.
Yeah,
thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.